Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC, your ultimate home for all things Liverpool FC. Today, we've got a massive Reds roundup. Virgil van Dijk fires back at Wayne Rooney's lazy leadership jibe. Alexis Mac Allister clashes with Amadou Onana, and Trent Alexander-Arnold opens up on his Liverpool return. Jude Bellingham and Real Madrid links. Plus, we'll reveal how Liverpool's defense could transform next season with two huge Premier League signings. Stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button and let's dive into all the drama. Passion and pride of the Reds. Virgil van Dijk hits back at Wayne Rooney over lazy. Liverpool leadership criticism. Virgil van Dijk responds to criticism from Wayne Rooney after the Manchester United legend questioned the Liverpool captain's leadership. Virgil van Dijk has hit back at Wayne Rooney's comments over a lack of leadership at Liverpool. The Reds captain branded the Manchester United legend's analysis as lazy criticism. Liverpool ended a run of 4 successive Premier League defeats on Saturday night as they beat Aston Villa 2-0 at Anfield to move up to third in the table, level on points with second-placed Bournemouth ahead of their trip to Manchester City on Sunday afternoon. Such a sequence was the worst of the Netherlands international's time at the club since his January 2018 move from Southampton and former United. Everton and England striker Rooney was critical of Van Dijk at the top of the week on his BBC podcast, as he said, "Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah. They've signed new deals, but I don't think they've really led that team this season." Van Dijk offered a measured reply following Saturday's win over Villa, saying it is easy to lay the blame at the door of the team's most experienced operators. "I didn't hear him last year," Van Dijk said. "No, it doesn't hurt me, to be honest. Just to come back to this particular player, obviously a legend, a big player of the game who inspired so many, I can say only positive things. But I feel that comment is just, I would say it's a bit of a lazy criticism. That's my personal opinion. It's easy to blame the older players, but he knows, obviously, as well as everyone else, we do it together trying to help each and every one of us to try to get out of this. And, like I said as well, last year when things go well, you don't hear that at all. It is what it is. Pundits have to do that job as well, so it is what it is. Like I said, he has an opinion and we have to deal with it. And there's no hard feelings, by the way. I don't take it personally whatsoever." Van Dijk added, "I think it's a funny thing, isn't it? Because last year we didn't hear anything about this criticism. Because obviously things were going well, and we were also seen as the leaders. And this year, when things are not going as well as we want so far the last couple of weeks, then we're not doing our job properly. So that's the life we live. We feel that responsibility. We want to lead by example. Obviously, I can only speak for myself in this case, by the way. I know I'm the captain. I know that if we do not have the best results, or not great performances, then myself and the manager will definitely always be questioned. That's part and parcel, you know, and that's what comes with it. I want to perform, not for myself, but for the team, for the club. That's what I've been doing for all those years. I want to win things. I want to win games, especially. And I've been very fortunate to win so many games with the club, especially here at home. And when there are difficult moments, I try to help my teammates. I try to put them in front of me and want to make them perform as in the best possible shape. And then when things don't go well, then that's the world we live in and people question loads of stuff, especially when you lose. How many did we lose? 6 in the last 7, yeah. So, you know, there are so many platforms nowadays that everyone can say whatever they like, and it gets blown up. I've mentioned it after previous games. We have to stick together, focus on the task ahead, winning games. That's the only thing we can control. And it's not easy to do that for everyone. But for me, I'm mature enough and I have a very stable life that I will be able to do so. How Liverpool's mighty defense could look next season if they make double Premier League swoop. Liverpool need to fix the defense before this season drifts away from them. But how could their back line look next season? The summer of 2025 was phase 1 of what is clearly a long-term plan at Liverpool, where the end of the Jurgen Klopp era is firmly in sight. Players like Alisson and Virgil van Dijk might be around for another few years. However, what was a successful squad is gradually being ripped apart and rebuilt with a younger version. The squad was starting to age, but Arne Slot has been criticized for how he has tried to implant the changes and introduce the new players into the starting Ajax. Some of the changes were needed even if decisions like dropping Andy Robertson and then an in-form Hugo Ekitike half-back. Fired. What will Liverpool defense look like next season? Robertson is keen to stay at Liverpool, but as yet, contract talks have been quiet with the 31-year-old nearly leaving in the summer. There is a similar situation at right-back with Slot unconvinced by Jeremy Frimpong in a deeper position and Connor Bradley not grabbing the opportunities he has been handed with both hands either. Calvin Ramsey returned to face Crystal Palace for his first appearance in 3 years, but even if he had scored a hat-trick, his injury history suggests that it was only to put him in the shop window. A right-back wasn't a necessity in the summer. Now, though, it has become a priority alongside at least one center-half. Milos Kerkez will be given time to adapt, having looked far from the player that was signed from Bournemouth. That the rest of the team has lacked balance and stability hasn't helped either. When next season kicks off, Alisson, Van Dijk, and Kerkez will probably be 3 names who will be on Slot's team sheet. Liverpool and Newcastle United might not be best friends, but Tino Livramento is one of England's hottest prospects in terms of defenders and has proven his quality in the Premier League, in Europe, and for the national team. The 22-year-old also has an aggression and intensity that the Reds need, and he would be a consistent option for the right-hand side of defense. Alexis Mac Allister fumes at Amadou Onana as Liverpool unhappy. With Stuart Attwell moments you may not have spotted during Liverpool's Premier League clash. Against Aston Villa on Saturday evening, Liverpool finally brought an end to their run of domestic defeats. With a home Premier League victory over Aston Villa on Saturday evening, Mohamed Salah notched a landmark 250th goal for the Reds shortly before halftime, and Ryan Gravenberch netted after the interval to secure a 2-0 triumph. The result means the Reds have moved back into the top 4 and avoided becoming the first Liverpool side to lose 5 league games in a row in 72 years. But there was plenty that went unnoticed or under the radar. During the 90 minutes at Anfield, tempers were running high, particularly during the first half when the game was very much in the balance. And that was never more evident than when Amadou Onana was hurt when bundled into the advertising hoarding behind the Anfield road stand goal after a tussle with Dominic Szoboszlai. Despite Onana being off the pitch, the game was held up for several minutes as he received first attention from Villa players and then medical treatment. It led to Virgil van Dijk sprinting half the length of the pitch to angrily have a word with referee Stuart Attwell to prompt him to restart the game. No doubt a certain recent Michael Oliver decision was utmost in the mind of the Liverpool skipper. Onana, no, mind you. It wasn't the only time former Everton midfielder Onana raised the ire of the Liverpool players and crowd. As the teams waited for Villa to deliver a second-half corner, Alexis Mac Allister found himself prone in the back of the net after being momentarily throttled by his opponent. The Argentina international eventually got to his feet before being caught again by Onana, and then a third time when the corner was finally taken, leading to the award of a free kick. The fevered celebration of Mac Allister when the foul was awarded spoke volumes. That's the kind of fire Liverpool have been missing in recent weeks. Not having a ball, Mac Allister was also involved in an amusing moment in the second half. With the Reds on the attack, the midfielder hadn't noticed the offside flag had been raised when he fired a powerful shot just wide that almost took out an unassuming steward stationed behind the Kop goal. Earlier on, another steward had to tell a young ball assistant to put a match ball back on a pitch-side cone as part of the multi-ball protocol. During the closing moments of the recent home defeat to Manchester United, balls were being thrown to Liverpool players rather than being left alone for players to retrieve. Outrageous behavior. Salah snubbed there. Was some proper Scouse royalty in attendance on Saturday evening with Steven Gerrard and Steve McManaman both working the game for TNT Sport. The pair were embraced by Mohamed Salah after the game, and later both Salah and Gerrard were seen strolling through the mixed zone, the area where journalists try usually in vain to eke some words out of a player when the latter started. Laughing, "I used to stop every game," said Gerrard to Salah, who then chose to ignore the advice and carry on walking past. Oh, for those verbose old days. Everything Trent Alexander-Arnold said on Liverpool return, Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid moved Trent Alexander-Arnold, has opened up about his return to Anfield for the first time since leaving. In summer, as Real Madrid prepares to face Liverpool in the Champions League, Trent Alexander-Arnold has opened up about his return to Anfield since his $13 million move to Real Madrid this summer. Real Madrid faces Liverpool in the Champions League on Tuesday, and the 27-year-old fullback is expected to make his first start since September 16th, following a difficult start to life in Spain. His previous appearance lasted just 5 minutes against Marseille, leaving him visibly frustrated. A hamstring injury slowed his integration, and he has been an unused substitute in the last 2 matches, with Xabi Alonso preferring Federico Valverde at right back. This will be the second consecutive year Los Blancos visits Anfield, following Arne Slot's side securing a 2-0 victory over the Spanish Giants in last year's Champions League phase. In an interview with Amazon Prime Video, Alexander-Arnold explained why he decided to join the Spanish Giants and revealed when he made the choice to leave his hometown club. Here is everything he had to say. On the reception he will get, whatever way I'm received is the decision of the fans. I'll always love the club. I'll always be a fan of the club. I'll always be thankful for the opportunities and the things we achieved together. They'll live with me forever. No matter what, my feeling won't change towards Liverpool. I've got memories there that will last me a lifetime, and no matter how I'm received, that won't change. On if he will celebrate if he scores at Anfield, you've got to put your emotions to one side and play the best football game you can. But if I was to score, then I wouldn't celebrate. No, on agent Jude and decision to leave. There was a lot of speculation. The agent Jude stuff. It was more so in his first season at Real Madrid. We'd meet up at England camps and everyone would want to know what it was like behind the scenes at Real Madrid. He said it was incredible and he'd never seen anything like it. The drive from the whole club to win and the expectation to win. He talked so highly of the club and I'd made my mind up at the end of the day I needed a change for me. I wanted a new challenge on and off the pitch. He is a great lad and we are great friends. It is good to have someone who is English and we know each other well. It made settling in easy for me. La Liga is slightly slower paced, it's not as much transitional and physical, but it's difficult in other ways. I'd say on a technical level it's much higher than the Premier League, if I'm honest. Virgil van Dijk's passionate relegation battle message after Liverpool ended their losing streak in the Premier League with a comfortable 2-0 win against Aston Villa. And Virgil van Dijk hopes that they can finally put their crisis period behind them. Virgil van Dijk has hit out at ridiculous claims that Liverpool were in a relegation battle before ending their Premier League losing streak. Van Dijk, 34, featured in Saturday's much-needed 2-0 victory over Aston Villa, ending a woeful run of 4 successive defeats. Goals from Mo Salah and Ryan Gravenberch got the job done at Anfield, moving Liverpool back up to 3rd in the table. The game also marked their first clean sheet since September 14th, having leaked goals in the autumn months. Van Dijk kept a level head, though, and has slammed the outside noise. Even in good times, you have to still keep going. And don't take our foot off the gas, the Liverpool captain told TNT Sports. What I've noticed over the last few weeks is that there's a lot of noise that you have no control over, and we have to deal with that as a team. Some of the takes are ridiculous, but you deal with it. Outside noise can reach certain players, but we stick together. We are not going out on the pitch to lose games or leave fans disappointed. We want to work our socks off and win games. But it's not a guarantee. The Premier League is the highest level. Now it's time to start working. Never get too high or too low. We live in a world where everyone can have their own opinions on so many platforms and they know better. We have to stay away from that and focus on the hard work we are doing. Last season, we did some negative stuff, but everything was all sunshine and rainbows everywhere. Now it sounds like we're going to be in a relegation battle. That's how it works in the world. Where will Liverpool finish this season? Give us your prediction in the comments section. Slot echoed Van Dijk's sentiment, arguing that Liverpool created more chances from open play in other games, but never got the result to show for it. Maybe we were a bit more on the lucky side than we've been in the last few weeks, where in my opinion we were also unlucky, Slot added. So, the mistake of their goalkeeper and the deflection led to 2 of our goals. These are the margins we are talking about. I think in other games we've created more from open play than we did today. But in football, it's about results, not about the chances you create from open play.